Hi everyone, welcome to Faith Over Flesh podcast, a faith-based, spirit-led podcast where we talk about how we actively pursue our faith over our flesh. I'm Tolu and I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm Megan.
And I'm Martin.
And welcome to our first video. For this first video, we kind of wanted to talk about who we are, what is Faith Over Flesh, and then we asked you guys some questions on Instagram, which thank you so much for submitting all those questions. At first, we were a little doubtful that we were going to get any, but, you guys really came through, and we just thank God for just, the blessings that he's been so far pouring out on this podcast. But we want to start out by, sharing who we are, as different individual people, what this podcast is, and then we want to take a chance to answer some of the questions you guys had for us on Instagram. So, Martin, did you want to go first?
I guess. Hi guys, I'm Martin. Shoot, what should I do? Yeah, it's a blessing to be on this podcast. It's a little bit about me. I write and produce music. I'm a little boy. I'm 16.
You're 15.
I turned 16 in April.
Wait, also guys, by the way, that intro music that you heard in our intro video, Martin made that. That was it.
Praise God.
That wasn't some video from anywhere. That was Martin, guys. So
Praise God.
contact him if you need any music.
Yes. But it's a blessing to be here, and thank you guys for listening.
What was the question?
Just tell us about yourself. You can be a little bit of your testimony, I guess, or why you decided to join Faith of the Flesh.
Okay, so my name is Megan. I'm 15 years old, turning 16 in a week.
Woo! Megan month.
I know. Well, I'm a writer. I love to write. I like to write, and I love to read. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm actually always reading and always crying over books, but okay.
Y'all, she actually does. It's not even.
It's bad. She was just calling me yesterday. I was trying to sleep.
You actually answered.
I was trying to sleep.
Y'all, she had
yapping.
yesterday. Yes, yesterday. Her Instagram story. She started talking. She said, "Guys, I'm gonna pick up this book." After I saw that, I knew whenever I go on your story, I know to skip.
I knew I should have got my
pictures.
DMV. Spamming the button.
Bro, it's not even that bad. It's just
Come on now.
I just feel everything so deeply. Anyway, yeah, I'm a writer. I love to read. I spend most of my day just reading and writing. I don't really do much, but I actually. I actually really look forward to in the future to doing something that's involved with ministry. I used to actually want to be work in the medical field, but as I grew up, I just realized more that I would rather spend my life working for the Lord.
Amen.
So, yeah, that's it.
Well, guys, my name is Tolu. I'm newly 17.
Oh yeah!
Big 17.
Yesterday was her birthday, by the way.
Yes, so.
So I think as you get to know us throughout this podcast, you'll see all three of us are very creative. We're very creative people. We have our different forms of art, Martin music, Megan writing, and I like photography. I like to do dance. I feel I'm also creative in other ways. I like to do hands-on things. I like sewing. But we also love laughing, as you guys can tell. We are always laughing. So I hope that's something you guys see through this podcast. I hope you guys think that we're as funny as we think that we are.
Take your time. You got it. Take your time.
Okay, anyways, about me. When I get older, I'd love to become a pediatrician. I love just helping, serving other people, and I love just being in the medical field. I also like helping underserved communities as well. So I did a couple internships before with helping out the people in different countries, so that's very nice.
What is wrong?
Anyways, that kind of leads into what I want to do when I get older too. Is I would love to serve on a mission and go to some sort of Christian college where I can do a medical mission to help other people in other underserved communities. I grew up in a Christian church, Christian household. I think all three of us did, but I think I started seriously taking my faith last year maybe. It's been very ups and downs, but God has been faithful through it all, and has helped me through everything and brought me to this moment where I get to start a Christian podcast with my friends. So that's a little bit about me and my co-host. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But as you mentioned, on our Instagram, follow our Instagram.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yes.
follow our TikTok.
TikTok, follow everything.
Mm-hmm.
Link tree in the bio, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Instagram bio.
And our YouTube bio. So when you
Yes.
guys exit this video, and also I'll leave in the description that we have a link tree where you can follow us on any platform that you have that you'd like to follow us on.
But yeah. So we asked you guys asked you guys to tell us questions. So we're just gonna get into a little bit of that. So the first question we have is how did Faith Over Flesh start? So
Okay. So this is kind of a long story, I guess, but it kind of like, yeah, it kind of goes way back to like during COVID times. Our youth group, a couple guys in the youth group and a group of girls, we all wanted to start our own podcast. So the boys were gonna do their own, and the girls were gonna do their own as well. But it didn't work out. And so we had like a youth leader later on, like I think last summer maybe, came up to us and she was talking to me and my friend who's behind the camera, Morgan. She was asking us just like about the idea of a podcast, and we were like, oh, we wanted to do that before. So then that's when we started thinking more into it, and it officially started end of last month.
let's say like
Actually, wait, when did we start planning?
we started planning like 2 months
I
ago,
have
3
bad
months ago.
memory, I don't
I think it was 2-3 months ago.
2 or 3 months ago,
Yeah.
we started planning, and of course, our lovely friend behind the camera was the one who came up with the lovely name of Faith Over Flesh. And, you know, honestly, it's so perfect because, you know, as human beings, we automatically kind of like choose our flesh.
Yes.
And as Christians, we need to, like we say in the intro, we need to choose to actively pursue our faith. So that's kind of how Faith Over Flesh started. Next question.
Our next question was, what does Faith Over Flesh mean to each of us as individuals?
I would love to start.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, I think that faith over flesh means, obviously, as we said as well as in the intro, it's to choose to trust in God over giving into the desires of your flesh. Because I feel like, as Holu said, we're programmed to choose our flesh. We're programmed to give into our desires, and instead of choosing God, like we love to still put God first in our Instagram bio, but do we really choose God first? And I think it's so crucial as teenagers, especially in our day and age. I think it's extremely important, especially as we're trying to like grow our faith in Jesus, that we continue to put Him first and realize that our only hope is truly in Jesus. Like there's nothing that we can do if there's nothing that we can't do anything if Jesus is not in the equation.
Yes.
So I think it's just very crucial and just very important that we learn how to trust God, and also not only just like, but we say that we believe in God, but it's like, do we believe God? Do we believe that God is who He truly says that He is? If He tells us that He's a loving God, we have to believe that He's loving. We have to believe that He's forgiving, and we have to be able to put our shame and our guilt aside sometimes. Even like when we slip up in sin, we have to just remember who God is and remember what He says and who He says He is.
But Megan, how do we like? Okay, I'm sorry to like interrupt your thing, but like thinking like for people who may like not even be Christians or like thinking about becoming Christians, like how do you actually like put your faith and trust in God, especially like if like you're new to this, like how do you actually like begin to love Him? You know, Martin can answer too when you're done.
So for me, I'm still on the road of trying to fully put my trust in God, because I'm someone who worries a lot. I'm always worrying about tomorrow, about next year, about the future. Like I'm currently, rather instead of being in the present, I'm focused on the now. And I think what has truly helped me is by getting in His Word. I think Matthew 6 verse 34 is one of my favorite Bible verses, where we're told not to worry about tomorrow and worry about today, because tomorrow or today has its own worries, or tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with this.
Can I add to it before Martin goes? Also, like, along with that is Matthew 6:33, the verse before. Oh my gosh, I love Matthew 6:33. It
Matthew
says
6 in general.
Yeah, Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you." So I feel like, especially in my walk, like, trust me, I feel like all three of us have been there where we like walked away, or we had a certain period of time with God where we felt like He was distant. but in reality it was low-key just us.
Yeah.
And like once you seek him first, then you truly start to feel his spirit, and you truly start to feel his presence, and you get to know, like once you start to actively try and get to know who he is, then the being able to love him and like trust him becomes natural. Alright, so our next question is, what are some misconceptions of Christianity? Does anyone want to answer that one?
I'll go. I would say that people tend to think that Christianity is boring and it's just like the Bible is just a book of rules and things that you can't do, rather than seeing the Bible as things that you will end up choosing not to do. Because I feel like as you start to grow your faith in God and start to like actively pursue Him and your walk progresses, the things that Jesus wants start to become the things that you want. So all like these like worldly stuff, you're gonna end up choosing not to do them rather than it being a thing that you can't do.
Exactly.
So I would say, yeah, probably that. And what was the question again?
What are some misconceptions of Christianity?
Yeah, and like it's boring. Yeah, I said that. You can have like fun while being a Christian. Like it's very easy.
Yeah.
Cause like people think fun is like, go into a party and just getting drunk. But like, you can have fun in lots of other ways. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't.
Keep going.
like for example, I'm at church all day and I have a blast. Like just last week I was here until 10 and I got here at like.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was here
What were
until
you doing?
boys' night.
Oh wow.
I was here, and I got here at like 7. So I spend like my whole day at church and I have like a blast doing it. Like it's a lot of fun. So like Christianity is not necessarily like boring and like a book of rules that people like, you know what I'm saying? So I'll say that's probably a misconception.
I want to add to that too. Like, okay, wait. There's also another question on here that's asking like, do we go to church? So we're actually filming here at our church right now. Like, we all go to the same church. That's how we all met each other. But like, I also want to like, if you guys are okay, I'm gonna pan on the side of the screen like a video of us like having fun at church, because like you don't need to do like crazy things in order to have fun. Like for example, like what we do, like once we have our whole day at church, like we eat lunch together. We all get to talk about our week and like how our weeks was. How our weeks were, and like just like have fun with each other while just like talking, but also not just talking, but like we went outside and we were running around. We also walked to the local boba shop and we got to drink boba. We just go into a classroom and we call it our little classroom, right, Miss Megan? But we have we find ways to have fun. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but we definitely find ways to have fun.
Definitely.
Next question.
Next question. Spiritual versus religious. I'm guessing like what's
What
the
is,
difference
like,
between spiritual versus religious?
Oof. That's a good question.
When I think of spiritual, I think a lot about like the tarot cards and like the sage and stuff.
Yeah, like the burning incense.
Yeah. I don't. Okay. I used to. How do I put this? I used to. I used to have the desire to want to have tarot cards, because there was a point in my life where I was just so against believing in God and believing that God is God. It was just I believed that there was something greater than us, but I didn't want it to be God, because I was at this stage in my relationship with him where it was just like,
You want something tangible.
yeah, I wanted something tangible. And I don't know. I don't like using the word religious. I just think that when I hear
It's just more like about, because they're just talking about like
Right,
having a religion.
Yeah, and I don't think that believing in, like, yes, it's a
Christianity is a
religion.
religion, but it's
It's not a
choice.
relationship. That's how I see. Like,
It's more so a friendship.
Yeah.
I don't go around telling people that I'm religious. I guess per se. I don't know. Like, religion kind of just feels like you're putting a box around what you say that you believe in.
Because it also, like, people also get confused by this also, is like the different denominations too.
Yeah.
People are saying like, oh, everything's like different, whatever. Like, that's also like putting a box, like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, if people are saying like, oh, like, you guys have different denominations of Christianity, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, kind of like what Megan's trying to say about putting a box on it. I feel like what we at least in our relationship, is that we try to see it more like a relationship with God. I don't know if my friends would also say this at school. Like when I say it, I feel like I describe it more as a relationship, a friendship with Jesus instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Christianity, I try to see it as a religion, but like as they said, like a friendship, you know, like we call God like our father, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that relationship between like, you know, a father and daughter, like a father and son, that like really makes up what Christianity really is. And it's like you don't really like so no one, you don't necessarily die for someone when like you're not necessarily close with them or friends with them, right?
Yeah.
No, John 3:16, everyone knows that verse.
Mhm.
That's what the world, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yeah, Christianity. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a religion, but it's like the act of actively, you know, pursuing God and like just you necessarily just trying to get to know your friend better and just. Oh, why did your elbow crack? But yeah.
Also, when I think of religious, I feel like it's just like following, like making it seem like you're following just a set of rules that you can. It's like it seems like you're trying to earn salvation, which is something that we can't earn. If that makes sense.
You should probably explain that more.
Like we can't earn so because like as humans we're all horrible and we're always gonna be horrible. Like even when we repent and ask for forgiveness, we're human and we're full of sin, and we can't like we can't do good things in order to make it into heaven. That's what I mean. If that makes sense.
Okay.
And I feel like that's how I see religious. Like you're following a set of rules because you want God to see you as a good person that you can make it into heaven. And that's not it. Because then there would have been no point for Jesus to die on the cross for us.
So just like basically not being authentic with
Yeah.
the things that you do just because you want to get into heaven, not because you want to have a relationship with God and like be with Him in heaven.
Yeah.
And just be saved, you know?
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay. So we go to the next question.
Yeah. Okay. Our next question is, what is our favorite part about church?
I can go first. I think mine would be just like the friends, like these two, and like all the other church friends as well. And then also like getting to know God too. Like when we have like events like our youth after hours, or just like our youth church in general. I feel like those events that like help me grow spiritually are some of my favorite parts about church.
For me, I'll probably say the praise and worship.
Mm.
So, I am I'm a worship leader here at this church, and there's something about just like lifting up a joyful noise to God just really moves me in a way I can't necessarily be moved by anything else. You know, just like just like so I don't personally sing, but like I play instruments, right?
Stop it. You're a liar. He knows he's singing.
I don't sing.
You were
Well,
just singing in the room and you sounded really good.
Okay, but I don't sing. Okay, I can sing, but like I don't sing.
You mean you don't sing at church?
Yeah, I don't sing at church. Like I play instruments, right? I'm an instrumentalist. But like just being able to like express your gratitude for God through that, it just really moves me, and like I really love that, and I would say that's probably one of my favorite things about church.
For me, my favorite part about church is honestly, I think at our church, I feel like we're a pretty small church, sort of in a way.
Fairly.
I feel like at some point, like everyone's just like all kind of like nicely knit together.
Yeah.
Like the kids obviously closer to and adults stuff like that. And I think that's like my favorite part, like being able to see like everyone's like growth with their relationship with God. Because like a couple years ago, if you see,
Oh gosh.
for all of us, like it was just like you would never expect us to be where we are now. Like I would never expect to be on a podcast like trying to spread the love of Jesus. Like I would never expect myself to be here now. And I think it's just like we all are at the point of our lives where we're so mature and we can put like foolishness aside and we can actually like sit down and talk about God. Like the ones who went to your house and we had like this amazing Bible study. And it was like for the first time it felt like it's just like community. I think I love the community that we have, and I love how we can all be close and we can joke and we can be serious and like we can cry and stuff like that. Like I just really
We have balance. All right, I want us to do a last two questions because we are like running like pretty bad on time. But I want to do, what's our favorite book of the Bible? Or you can do story too, because I have a
Oh
story.
no.
Go ahead, Megan.
My favorite book in the Bible has to be Isaiah. I love Isaiah Isaiah and Romans. Like I don't even know like which one was like actually Isaiah's on top, and then Romans.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
Isaiah so much. It has like brought me out of the craziest like drought that I've been in. When I first started reading Isaiah, I think I started at Isaiah 43 actually.
Wait, that's crazy though, because if you just like
I know.
if you just went to like some random verse, like random part of the Bible, and like in Isaiah, like don't you think that's like probably God wanting you to
That's
read
what I'm
that
saying.
part?
And it was like a night where I was like going like crazy. Like y'all know I go crazy a lot. So like when I was reading Isaiah 43, it was Isaiah 43, 18 through 19, where I was reading my Bible because I was like, I need to calm down before I do something that's like not gonna Okay, so yeah, so Isaiah is one of my favorite books in the Bible. I remember one night I was going crazy and I decided to pick up my word instead of, acting out of anger. And I started reading Isaiah, I think it was Isaiah 43 and 18 through 19. It was basically God, but he was telling them, like, do you not see, like, forget all that I've done in the past and, like, do you not see what I'm doing for you now? Like, I'm going to do something so much greater for you. And that like really inspired me to go all the way back to the beginning of Isaiah. And it's just like God loves us so much. It's like we can't even like I can't even wrap my head around it. Like we're so sinful, and we're just like constantly like falling short of His glory, and He still loves us regardless. Like Isaiah 43 specifically, like when I finally like got to reading up to Isaiah, I was like, oh my goodness, this is powerful. Like God literally chose us. Like He knew us before our parents even thought about us, and it's just like He loves us so much, and He has like our His plans for us is like so good, and we don't even see it, and we're still so sinful, and it's like God loves us so much, and it's just like what is wrong with us? Like actually.
So for mine, I would say instead of like a book, I'm gonna say like a story. So like just about Mary Magdalene? Mary Magdalene's story. Much. Love it so much. Also, guys, if you can, read the book, The Women of the Bible Speak. Amazing book / devotional where it goes deeper into her story, and I just love it. But so I love how Mary Magdalene went from, from not the best background, about the best job, to where she was with her walk with Jesus, and the first lady to come to the tomb. Anyways, come to Jesus' tomb when she saw that he was resurrected, and it was a woman that, we had like a sermon about this last week. He was talking about how we went to a different church.
Oh yeah,
he was talking about go ahead. Do you remember?
It took like a woman to do
what a man couldn't do. So I feel like that's just like an amazing. I love her story, but yeah, Martin.
I'm sorry.
Nah, I don't got an issue. Okay. But I'll probably say my favorite book is James. Anyway. I think it's either James or Job. But I'll probably say it's James. James, it always just speaks to me whenever I read it. Although it's like a pretty short book. Like the amount of conviction I get when I'm reading it, it's just like, dang, it's really humbling, It reminds me that like I'm not even close to perfect, and that like there's still a lot of work that I need to do as a human and as a Christian to, to really represent Jesus the way that I'm supposed to, So I'll probably say the book of James. It's lovely. I love James.
And then for our last question is, how do we stay bounded to Christ?
I would say actively denying your flesh is a really, really important thing. Because, like, when you sit down and think about it, right, your flesh is not going to heaven or hell with you, so why should you listen to your flesh if it's just going to lead you to a place where you don't want to go, right? Because I feel like we don't necessarily understand that an eternity is really an eternity. Like, it's forever for real. Like, forever. So it's like, why would I trade forever for, like, maybe, like, I don't know, however long of like happiness or temporary happiness, right? When I can be happy for eternity, that's pretty foolish, but it's like the amount of times that like you sit down and like you see that like, wow, like I'm really not supposed to be doing what I'm doing, like why am I doing this, right? It really like puts you in a spot where it's like where you need God more than like you realize that you need God, right? When like the whole time you really did. So it's like actively denying your flesh is like a really important part. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
guess.
I guess. I would say guarding your ears and your eyes. Especially in this generation, where everything's going mayhem. But I'm never saying that again. But
Oh my goodness. Keep going.
okay. But so for me, I used to listen to a lot of like vulgar rap, right?
Pots and pans.
Pots and pan
Pots-
music.
Pots and pans music. Is that what we call it now?
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean that music would just make me a person that I didn't necessarily want to be, and it will just like, it will plant seeds of evil in my head, right? Whereas like music is so powerful, and people don't necessarily realize that. Like you don't teach a baby how to dance; a baby just knows how to dance, right? Like music just enters your soul without permission, so that's why I need to be careful with what you're listening to.
Like a portal for like.
Yes, your eyes and your ears are
Can
portals.
you say that
to the
again?
soul.
Music just.
No way.
Go ahead, get your Martin quote. Go ahead.
Anyways,
God,
while Megan's
praise
writing
God.
that down, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. First of all, it's so much fun just like filming videos like this with my friends, and so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and that you'll come again. Oh wait, we should talk about like our filming schedule and stuff. But is that okay, Megan?
Huh?
Your face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of something.
But for now, the posting schedule, what we're thinking of, unless God has different plans for us, we will definitely change them for him. But what we were thinking is that because we have busy lives and, especially me as a junior, it's kind of rough out here. So I don't know how I'm going to have time. But we want to start posting in the summertime. So post consistently in the summertime into our next school year. So that means this is a video you'll get until we start posting again, right? No? I don't know. I thought we were going to... Well, it looks like the executive team needs to talk more about this, but I hope y'all enjoy this video and that you will come again for our other videos and that you will tune in on our Instagram and TikTok page for our weekend devotionals, and we can get YouTube shorts maybe. So if you guys want YouTube shorts for our weekend devotionals, subscribe to this channel, go to our link tree and follow us on our other socials.
Link tree in bio.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching this episode. Bye.
I love you.
Bye.